Arlo, we need a translation here before we start nailing studs. I don't know what that means. Hey, and welcome back to the build. Today we're going to be doing the wall framing on the main level of our house. It's 2x4 construction, and I designed this and had everything planned out. I was looking forward to building these walls, and then I got COVID. So I had to turn it over to my brother and the crew. Let's see how they do with it. Jamie drew this plan. It's a 1/2 inch equals 1 foot scale, which is nice because that's a large drawing. And as long as those are the actual rough openings, not the window sizes.
Yeah, we can double check off that house if you want.
What I would assume. Oh, RO, he wrote RO on that one. Again, Jamie isn't here. He drew the plans. I have no idea, but I can read plans as long as they're legible. I think what we should do is start with these two walls and run them to the end, and then we'll build this one and stand it up between them. Jamie's got a really nice framing section drawing there of all the pitches of the roof. I'll hang that on my wall. We're getting our first wall built on the floor here, and what's crazy is the house is so small that this one wall laid on the floor takes up almost the whole floor. So we gotta wait till that's stood up to like lay this one down, stand it up. It's like a Tetris kind of thing. And also, we're gonna just use these 2x12 headers on this project and then just measure the jacks down. That's gonna leave us a little high. We'll have to fur down in the door openings, but that way there's no little cripples. Should be faster, easier. Make sure it's all tight together and fire it off. Jamie wants to let this lap down or leave a space so that, you know, sheathing laps over the floor system down to the lower wall. Call it 109 and 5/8. Full sheet would come up to 12 feet right there. 34.25 would be our chalk line. 258 short, switch corners. 258 and 5/16. So put your end this way. 258, 3/16. That's it. You know, one time we were working on a job where some other guys were working, and they built the wall on the floor and then just put the sheathing on it without, you know, squaring it up. They stood that thing up with it sheathed, and it was leaned over like 3 inches. They had to tear the sheathing off. We are using the green zip wall board on this house. It's the R3 insulated zip board, which is fantastic because not only do you get that extra R value, but you get the break of thermal bridging from your outside surface, like your siding, to the framing. So it actually is more than just the R value. We've been using the ZipSystem on all of our sheathing for years now, and we love it because it's faster, it's easier, the taping is awesome, and it seals all the house up nice and tight without using house wrap. Please, if we cannot use house wrap again, let's just never use it again. Thank you.
Like I was telling them, I've seen houses in Bryson City built with less than zip tape, so.
If you're not familiar with the ZipSystem line of products, let me explain a little bit of it. It is OSB, but better because it's actually more dense and stronger than your regular baseline OSB. And it has a layer on the outside. They call it an overlay, but it's a weather-resistant barrier, WRB, for those of you in the know. And then all the joints get taped up with a special tape to seal everything so that you don't have to use house wrap. It's code approved, and you'll never hear the sound of that flapping when the wind blows around your house and won't be restapling up pieces that blow away. I'm angling these so they'll hit the floor joists. There are studs right on the floor joists.
next, we're gonna run through framing one simple wall, like the simplest it gets. No windows, no doors, just a wall. First, we laid out the top and bottom plates on 16-inch stud spacing, and we pulled that from the exterior of the framing of the house, not the inside of these other walls that are already standing. As we're laying the studs in position to our marks, we're making sure that they're all crowned in the same direction. In this case, we did all the crowns up, and that'll give you a more uniform wall. Once we had both ends of each stud fastened to the top and bottom plates, and we used 3 nails per end by code here, and that's because of the diameter of the shank of the nail we're using, we snapped the chalk line 3.5 inches from the framing on the edge of the floor here. The bottom plate is then knocked down to this chalk line, and then we toenail the bottom plate to the subfloor at a very steep angle, and those toenails help to keep the bottom plate straight while we put the sheeting on the wall. They also act as a hinge, and if it looks like magic when we stand up these walls and they don't slide off the floor, it's because of these toenails that act like a hinge as we stand the wall, keeping it in place. With the bottom plate now straightened and the wall squared sitting on the floor, and we did check the diagonals to make sure that was accurate, it's time to install the sheathing. What we did first was snap a chalk line across the top of the studs here to represent the top edge of the first row of sheathing, which will actually hang off about 1 foot so it flips down over the floor system and ties everything together. And last, we just nailed our ZipR panels down to the studs, and we decided to use 3-inch long framing nails here since our sheathing is really 1 inch thick. And we're also checking that each stud is straight by checking it to the layout that's printed on these panels, and then we stand the wall.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all filling up my chalk box with black chalk. I'm gonna look like Jaime now, like coal miner face, as soon as I rub my face. Or yours. I feel like the sheathing placement deserves some sort of an explanation because it looks kind of stupid, is what Jason said. What do you say? It looks like Art Deco? Yeah, so we put one piece on hanging down over the floor system, and then we stack the other one on top of that, one stud over so that the seams don't line up. And then up top, that's gonna keep going up to a gable end, so we're gonna wait and put a sheet that laps up onto that later. And then as far as the ends go, we didn't go to the ends because we want it to lap all the way over these 2 outside walls that we already framed. So we're just gonna patch all that in a minute. That's why it looks crazy right now. And it does.
Another note about the wall sheathing is we're trying to apply it efficiently with our time and also not waste material, and sometimes those two things conflict each other. So you'll see sometimes we lay the sheet down, nail it to the studs, and then cut out the window opening, or sometimes we cut the piece on the sawhorse exactly, and then we apply it and kind of work our way around window openings. It depends on which is faster and which wastes less material.
I nailed this together. We just pick it up when everybody pulls out there and just set one of these.
Ray, you feeling whipped, buddy?
Yeah, sweatshirt. Right?
I am too.
Bad.
We've been just doing trim work forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was sick last week, so.
Yeah.
Arlo, don't forget your batteries.
We'll see you tomorrow. Maybe you can just hold the fort down.
What? Hold the fort down. Oh, I'll be here.
Morning, fellas.
Yeah, that should be right. Morning.
You want this back?
Yes.
That was on the ground right there. I assume that came off the wall. This episode is brought to you by HOUZZ PRO, and they're a all-in-one business solution for builders, remodelers, contractors, and designers. And it's software that can help you keep your life in order if you're one of those things, because that's one of the hardest parts about it. They have many features to help you communicate with your client, with your subs, and figure materials. And that's one of my favorite things that we're gonna talk about today is the takeoffs feature.
If you've ever bid a job before, you know it's one of the scariest things you can do because you can easily make costly mistakes that can cost you tons of money. With HOUZZ PRO's takeoff feature, you can do this up to 10 times faster without making those costly mistakes. All you have to do is upload a set of PDF plans to the HOUZZ PRO software, and then it has tools that let you measure length and area and volume to the scale of your plans, and you can get your estimates really easily. Once the takeoffs tool has generated the quantities of material you need, you simply input the cost per unit, and boom, you've got an estimate in seconds. And best of all, you can quickly and easily turn your takeoffs into a professionally branded quote with your logo and letterhead and send it right out to your client. So if you want to win more bids with less work, make sure to check out HOUZZ PRO for yourself. There's a link down in the description of our video. It's completely free to try, and I don't think you'll regret it. Thanks again to HOUZZ PRO for sponsoring this episode. Let's get back to work, Ray. We are back on our job here to finish up the exterior and the couple interior walls. I think there's only like 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's like...
And we're going to go home, but Jamie's still out. He's still sick.
We should do one thing really glaringly wrong.
Yeah,
just to see like what kind of reaction.
Yeah, what can we do?
Like, what the?
We should put a header right here.
Yeah,
No,
like a header there.
Fake door right
I don't know. We'll think of something that's just like totally off the wall,
Yeah, like,
and
what?
do it for Jamie. Yeah, we should put some sheathing just like on 30-degree angle. I don't know. We'll think of something to where it gets him as soon as he gets here. Our workspace is really small for building these walls, and so we're also going to cover up our access there. So we're piling studs in for this wall and the remainder of these interiors so that we don't have to carry them up like a ladder after this wall is stood up here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Why is there 2 lines?
Top plate. I'm actually glad there's nobody else here today. It's kind of a cluster in here already with just 4 of us.
Yeah.
It's tight. If Jamie and Jason, or Jamie and you're here.
I'm here. I'm always here.
If Jamie and Ray were here, it'd be too much. We're changing one thing here. You can see this HVAC return. This can be built out in the closet, and it'll pull air from the hallway. But right now, this door section's in the way. So we're going to slide that to in line with this wall, I believe, and that'll give us room for that register on this side. If you're interested in the X Factor, one great thing is you can really see these chalk lines on this yellow surface, which is really nice. So we don't get things messed up any worse than they already are. One thing I've noticed with newer people doing construction is they're not sure whether to plumb walls when you're teeing into another one like this, or whether just to align it with the wall partition. And really, there's 2 cases. One case is this wall has rigid sheathing on it already, so it can't go this way or that way ever again. So if you're gonna put a wall plate here going this way, you need to plumb it, because if this is a little out of plumb, it's never gonna change. But in this case right here, I just aligned it with the wall partition because this wall can still move in and out that way because this isn't braced that way. So in this case, I just aligned it with the partition. Whenever we straighten or plumb this wall in this direction, it will plumb this wall also in that direction. So I've seen a lot of confusion there, and that's generally how I attack it.
Yeah, because if you were to plumb that now,
Yeah, you can
and
plumb
that's
it.
not plumb,
Right.
and you plumb that, then that's
Yeah,
not a plumb.
then you're gonna, so
you're just fighting
you
yourself.
got to think about what am I gonna be doing later as far as bracing and plumbing and straightening other walls before you just nail something where it's not supposed to be.
Perfect. That's why we just asked.
Yeah.
That way, if it's wrong.
Yeah,
it's your
and you
fault.
guys do ask me that. That's why I thought it'd be interesting to just talk about it a little bit.
No, it's a good point. Excellent. Great job.
We're in the hallway here, and on the plan, Jamie had this door centered in the hallway, but that meant you have to do like some 3/4 blocking here and 3/4 here. It wasn't like an even stud. So for a matter of efficiency, Arlo banged it tight this way, and we got like 1.5 inches here. Let's take some bets. Do you think Jamie will A, remodel it as soon as he gets here and center it, or B, not care and do nothing? I'm voting A, he remodels it as soon as he gets here.
Okay,
What's your bet?
He probably will.
But he can, what, rip this off, put 3/4 on this,
Yeah.
put a 3/4 there, and just
Call it good.
But I'm
right?
saying it really doesn't matter. Oh, right there. Gotcha. We're back after a fabulous sub at Ingles, and we're gonna do the wall sheathing now because the walls are done. Thought about going biking with Tommy, but
Tommy!
it's not gonna happen today. He's up on the parkway just zipping along by himself. We are gonna set up the air compressor because I forgot to, man, it's all like plugged in, even in the truck. I forgot to get more cartridges for my gun. We're gonna go live for our moment of truth. Did we leave the right amount of space for our zip board? And we did.
Nice job, bub.
Yes, I got it. Use my hammer extension there.
Nice.
Hey, little pro tip here, if you're working in town, you don't want to get your extra sheet goods stolen, take a couple of these truss lock or like hurricane screws that are like 8 inches long and run them through your stack, and nobody can lift like 8 sheets at once. So, all right, Mr. Thief, try and steal this.
forget it. Not working.
Not when you got to pick up 10 sheets at once. That's a wrap for today. We got the wall sheathing mostly on, and it about kicked our butt because it was so hot out here. I want to say thanks again to Huber that makes ZipSystem. We use their Zip R sheathing here and the Advantech X Factor, and we really love using it. If you haven't tried it, I recommend it. Personally, I think it works better. It's a lot less hassle, and it makes a better build. So thanks again to them.
Hey, thanks for checking out our video today. I'm gonna have to watch this back and make sure that I approve of all the framing because, you know, I mean,
Check the replay.
It's kind of my baby. See this thing? I feel like it's my baby a little bit, so that's why I'm so protective. All right, don't get me wrong. I'm just really picky and stuff. So, I mean, that's my job.
Thanks for building with us, I think.